reception problem.
Happy Saturday Snackdown, everyone. This is Erin Riley-Carrasco, and I am so excited today to have my good friend Barbara Colgates and her daughter Lucy.
A neighbor
Right up the street, founding director of Lean and Green Kids, an organization that brings awareness and educates about what?
About beans, the lean and green protein. Good for you and the planet too. I need somebody to write a rap song with those.
Well,
and good for the animals. We will never forget the animals. And we do education with kids in the classroom. Yeah.
And I'm so excited to say that I've been asked to be on the board and I've accepted the position.
Yay!
Another exciting, yes, woohoo! So if you're wondering what these beautiful crowns are all about, again, I will let Barbara explain.
Elaborate.
Who
Okay.
we are.
So, when we go in and we teach kids K through 12, I don't wear the crown with the high school kids. Probably not cool. But with the kids K through 5, I go in wearing the crown, and I am known throughout the kingdom of San Diego County with little kids, hundreds, thousands of kids, as Queen Bean. And when I have volunteers that go with me, we give them names like Princess Peapod or Lady
Legume.
Legume. It's all about the beans, a whole food plant protein, good for you and the planet too.
Yes, and what are we making today?
So we're gonna so on the Lean and Green Kids website, our wrap recipes, there's one for every month of the school year, because one of our education programs called the Daily Scoop, it's nutrition tips for every single day of the school year, and it's plant strong, and every month we focus on a cool bean of the month, trying to change that mindset over that plants can be protein too. And beans are the only allowable whole food plant-based protein in the National School Lunch Program. So which feeds 30 million kids a day. That's like 6 billion kids a year, just lunch. It's 3/5 of all the kids in school. If we're ever gonna get those lunches shifted over to plant-based, we gotta get kids to appreciate, elevate, and celebrate beans. Glorious beans.
Glorious beans. And I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm proud to say that Barbara and Lean and Green Kids, I believe in 2003, got the first ever legislation passed.
That's true. So yes.
Correct.
And that was kind of the seed for Lean and Green Kids. My Lucy here was a little girl. She was in school. I was very disheartened by what was being served in the cafeteria, but also what the kids were being taught in the classroom, because the National Dairy Council and the USDA provide 99% of the education materials in classrooms for free, 30-page workbooks. So Lean and Green Kids we are small but mighty, and we're creating wonderful resources that can take the place, or at the very least enrich those education materials and change the message. Get the message across that plants can have protein, and we do that laser sharp with legumes and nuts and seeds too.
Yes, and look at all of this food, glorious food with all the beautiful colors. And this is what Saturday Snackdown is all about. We've got vegan followers, we've got non-vegan followers, we've got animal activists who are out there fighting for dogs, but they're eating pigs and cows, and we're hoping that you make the connection with that. And so Saturday Snackdown is all about making delicious, easy, and quick recipes, and we're gonna get going, and my mouth is watering again. I always say I never eat on Saturday, so I get to gorge on this wonderful vegan food.
All right, so as I was saying, there's a cool bean that's featured in one of our education programs called the Daily Scoop, and it has a cultural connection. So for example, oh gosh, America's bean. We start with America's bean. Think patriotic, think branches of the military.
Navy bean.
The Navy beans. That's right. And so the kids learned all about that. The Navy bean was named after the Navy, and because it was a staple protein to keep our sailors strong at sea throughout history. So every month they learn little tidbits about that. So in the month of January, they learn about soul food in recognition of Martin Luther King Day and Africa in the American South. So our first wrap, and we do wraps because let's face it, It's hard to put it's hard to put beans between 2 slices of bread.
Yeah.
And so we want wraps to take over the world. And I think that kids who take these super cool bean wraps to school are going to be the coolest kids at the cafeteria table. So let's get started.
And with that Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine bill just passing, we are going to be having whole food plant-based meal options in jails and hospitals, which is a huge win for the environment, for our health, for the animals. Just add that in there.
Yeah. And schools are next.
Schools are next, yes.
All right, so we're talking soul food, sweet potatoes.
Oh,
so
yummy.
We've got some cooked sweet potatoes. So let's say you had sweet potatoes the night before and you have a can, hopefully, of some black-eyed peas. Soul food.
Black-eyed peas.
Sweet potato. Okay, this is so easy. Let's see. Black-eyed peas, pineapple, corn. And when we make these with the kids realize we've got every single food group here. We've got whole grains, we've got protein, every single food group on the plate, and we've got fruit and we've got vegetables. And we've got beautiful colors. Now, for a sauce, we love Vegenaise, but we realize it's not necessarily a health food, but we know that it helps to get kids to eat their fruits and veggies, right? So one thing that we can do for a sauce here, we call this the sweet potato soul wrap. Just a little bit of Vegenaise and then a little bit of barbecue sauce.
Oh, and you're just winging it. So how much, what are the measurements? About a good healthy tablespoon.
Well, because you could, that would be enough for like 2 wraps.
Okay.
We don't want to put too much of the fatty fat stuff, but a little bit I think is okay. And actually for our next wrap, we can do this with a cashew cream as well. We can do that. So there you go.
How easy that is.
Put that on. And these are all designed, all the recipes at leanandgreenkids.org are designed for
and let's hold that
school
up.
lunches.
Let's let the audience see what you're pulling out here.
Okay, so I get this from the local health food store.
Organic.
Yeah, triple
Baby
wash.
string.
So again, super easy, super nutritious.
And recyclable.
And the container is
recyclable.
recyclable. That's right, because we want to avoid plastic whenever we can. And then some greens. And in case people don't know how to wrap up a burrito, it's like making a present. We'll wrap up one side there because these are kind of small tortillas. And then
So you can get as large as you want and pack those babies.
Yeah, or make 2 small ones. And then what I want to do, instead of a plate, actually, we brought a nice little to-go container because this is for school lunches.
Is this what
There
you
you
grew
go.
up on, Lucy?
Yeah, that's part of it. Wraps.
Yeah, and then let's say, there's a little extra room. Just take some more of your cut good stuff. Oh, I didn't add if the kids are open to, a little bit of red onion and a little pepper, that is really delicious too. That might be a little bit of a grown-up kind of flavor. But for the kids, the pineapple, the corn, they love it, the barbecue sauce. And there's your beautiful lunch for your kids.
And we just added a little bit of pineapple over here. You can add some tangerines.
Yeah, just throw it a little something in there so they've got.
Kids, they finish it and then with the finger food. They love it.
Yeah, just you've got some extra room, or you can pack 2 of these.
And what a healthy alternative to, peanut butter and jelly.
And let's
these
just
like
hold it
chicken
up.
nuggets
And see how
Super
delicious
easy.
it looks. There we go. So, if you're the kid at the table, I happen to think that you're going to be the coolest kid on the block. So we'll add a little beans there, so make it look really juicy.
Yum.
They love creamy stuff. So 1 wrap down. Okay.
Okay. So this is there's one child's meal.
For the next wrap, let's see. That was January. February, the kids learn about soybeans because generally around February, the Chinese New Year is celebrated.
Yep.
So we're gonna do an Asian wrap. And we could use edamame.
My favorite.
Yeah. We could use a little black bean because I think black bean sauces are popular in Asian dishes. We can do a combination of that. Again, I love tofu. We could add chunks of tofu in this. Right now, we're just really featuring beans because I am Queen Bean.
She is the queen bean.
And
she knows everything about beans.
Not everything.
Almost everything.
I know more than the average lady like girl.
You
Let's
just
just say that. Okay. And then we brought sugar snap peas. You could throw a couple of those in to give it that Asian flair. If you don't have those on hand, no problem. Let's just throw some regular peas and carrots. Hopefully you've got that on hand in your freezer. And you know what? You don't even have to heat these up. Put them in frozen because they're going to thaw out by lunchtime. Yeah. So let's see. If your child is open to a little onion and a
peppers.
little pepper. Let's see, what else are we doing? So we've got beans, we've got greens. Oh, celery, little celery on that, and I think. Oh my goodness, one of the most
cashews.
important. Yeah, and mandarin oranges.
Of
Doesn't
course,
that look good?
for the Chinese
yeah,
New
for the
Year.
Asian
Yes.
flavor, and then Luce, you
And
said
cashews.
cashews. Yeah.
Yes.
Another great
Speaking of
protein. I was going to say one of
Yeah,
my
another
favorite foods
protein.
in vegan cooking.
There we go. Now, we could mix a little bit of the Vegenaise with some Asian dressing. We brought a couple Asian dressings, so pick your favorite Asian
Trader
dressing.
Joe's, both from Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
I have that. That sesame, soy, ginger vinaigrette is one. This is spicy peanut vinaigrette. Both delicious.
Whatever your favorite Asian dressing is. Now, and we could just put that on plain. We could put that on as is, and that's what we do for the kids in the classroom. But if you're only slightly adventurous, we're going to make a cashew cream, which has changed our life. We put the cashew cream on.
How has it changed your life?
We put it on everything. And it makes it creamy and delicious.
Tacos, potatoes. You make salad dressings with
I
it.
put it on all my salads.
Yeah.
All my
So
snacks.
super nutritious. In fact, they say that cashews, a handful of cashews can help elevate your mood.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
So now, the recipes online all say you have to soak the beans for I don't know, an hour or two.
Okay.
Nah, who's got time for? Ain't nobody got time for that. So honestly, I put this in right when we got here. As soon as I know I'm going to make a recipe, I'm like, oh, I want to make cashew cream. I just put it over there, get everything ready, and that's good enough for me. So there are all kinds of elaborate, fun, more sophisticated recipes online. My recipe is super simple: the cashews in some purified water, juice of 1 lemon, and a little sweetener.
Which I'm
There we
assuming
go.
is going to be the
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup is high in iron and calcium.
That's what my
And
friend Jeannie was
antioxidants.
saying last week on Saturday Snackdown.
And okay. Well, the kids learn in November when we focus on the Three Sisters casserole by Native Americans. We do the Three Sisters casserole: beans, butternut squash, and corn. The kids learn about that. But they also learn that the early settlers who settled in Boston and who created Boston baked beans, right? They used the navy bean, America's bean. The early settlers, the navy. But where did they get their special sweet secret ingredient? They got it from the Native Americans, and it's maple syrup. So kids learn all these fun little bean
You're just a
tidbits.
wealth of knowledge.
Well, I had a
you are the
ton.
queen bee.
I try. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's going to get noisy now, right?
Yep, it's
okay.
good. They're used to it.
As my husband likes to say, Bob's your uncle. There. We're done. Bob's your uncle. It's that simple. If you want to thicken it up a little bit, that came out pretty thick and creamy. Oh my God. And you could keep it going and it just gets this really fluffy. You can do this. I did this in my old Oster.
I
So
think
you
that-
don't
mine,
need...
I'm calling the Asian wrap right now, okay?
That one? Dibs?
Yes,
Okay.
dibs on this one.
Okay, and so you don't need a high-tech blender. You can do this in your Oster. You can do it in a food processor. The food processor doesn't get it quite as creamy. So you can or might choose not to mix your Asian dressing with a little of the cashew
smells
just to
so
get it
good, Barbara.
super duper creamy, okay? I'm just gonna make a mess because we're kind of in a hurry. And boom, bada bing, bada boom.
Yep, I
Bada
dibs.
bean.
This one's
bada
mine.
bing, bada boom, bada beans. Okay, and then we've got our little lunch container, right? And this is for grown-ups too. Oh my gosh, you will be the envy of everybody in the
This is
store
perfect
cafeteria.
because right in here has got another little section for
But you could put something
delicious.
Yeah.
You could put some fruits in there.
Yeah, so you can add
More
a
fruits
little,
and vegetables,
Yeah,
yep.
I love these little containers.
those.
So yes, it's a little messy right
And if
now.
you want it to stay all together, close up both ends.
Listen,
Good wrapper.
if it doesn't get all over your face, it doesn't. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face.
Look
right?
at that.
Okay,
Moms.
Asian.
Oh, wonderful.
Boom.
Okay, boom.
Bam.
Second wrap.
All
This
right,
is mine, so
done.
I'm setting aside.
Okay. Now, I saved the best. Wait, did I save the best for last? Which one are we? Oh, this. Okay, so then we move into March, and the kids learn about the mighty lentil bean. And this is because in March in India, they celebrate the Festival of Colors. Do you guys know what the Festival of Colors? You know what the Festival of Colors is,
I'm
right?
sure Lucy does. Please explain to
It's a
our
celebration.
listeners.
It's a celebration of springtime and the harvest in springtime. And one of their traditions is to throw paint all over each other. So if you go Google pictures of Festival of Colors, they're throwing colorful, hopefully non-toxic
Oh,
paint.
fun.
all over
I want to do
each
that.
other. Yeah. So the kids learn about this, and they learn things. But they have a Friday fitness tip in this wonderful Daily Scoop nutrition program. And they learned that in India, the most popular game is cricket. Now, let's say you made potatoes the night before, hopefully. Let's see. Oh, here they are.
Right here.
Right here.
Yeah. Now, I mashed these potatoes with just a little bit of vegetable broth. We call this the Indian curry mashup. And we try to give them fun names for the kids. Okay? So, little mashed potatoes. But you know what? If you don't have mashed potatoes on hand, no big deal. You know what? I brought just regular potatoes. Just don't even use a knife. Just use your...
Here's a knife.
Use a,
You need
I
one?
know, but look,
at you.
Use your man.
we are just like, we are gonna make do, right? Okay, so you don't have to have mashed potatoes, but mashed potatoes are
So
yummy. Okay, and then lentils. So we bought all organic. So lentils come in a can.
And how
Who knew?
receptive are the children when you go into the schools, Barbara? Like it.
So we cook with the kids, and when they put their hands on the food and they make it themselves, they have ownership, they have pride, they feel like chefs, and they have a blast, and they gobble up all the food. That is our challenge, is to educate the kids. Queen bean cannot be in every classroom, but we would like to ordain other queen beans and lady legumes, and we have the education materials that you can share in classrooms with your teachers that you know and schools in your neighborhood. And even if you can't do a live presentation, we also we have a book, and we're creating a curriculum so that kids can at least be exposed to this concept that beans are a wonderful, whole, this is how I like to say it. They're versatile, multicultural, economical, a superfood, a super green food. They're delicious and they're kind. So that's
yes.
the kind of language that I like to use.
Because
So
compassion begins on your plate, I like to
it
say.
absolutely does. And I would just like to say Lucy is living proof of a super strong, super kind, super smart young woman who I can tell she's blushing a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, but she needs to blush because I ran into this young lady. I didn't even know that she was your daughter at the Cube of Truth last month in Oceanside. So she's out there speaking up for the voiceless, speaking up for the animals. Strong vegan warrior.
We have
Look
our
at
matching
we
shirts on
yes,
from
we have
Farm
our
Sanctuary.
matching shirts from Farm Sanctuary. And when Barbara arrived at the house, she's like, I have a little story behind, well, Jean Bauer is one of my favorite, Farm Sanctuary. How old was Lucy when she went to Farm
So
Sanctuary?
Lucy's been vegan since birth. By the time it was time for her to get on solid food, I had informed myself and I knew that I wanted to make that
You're
shift
so
with my family.
awesome.
And actually, I
She's
gotta
the
give my
queen bean.
Oh,
I wish I would have learned sooner. Trying to make up for lost time with my children.
What you're doing is so wonderful. You're a wonderful spokesperson.
Thank you.
And you know what? With synergy. We are creating synergy here between the two of us, and we're neighbors, so we are going to take on the school food
The
education.
different ages.
Okay, so we put on, peas and carrots. Because those are kid-friendly vegetables. We're trying to use kid-friendly vegetables here. Pineapples and corn on the last one. Mandarin oranges and celery on the other one. And your kids can substitute things that they like. So beans, greens, veggies, and potatoes.
And we have these sauces
and then the
over here.
sauce,
We
of
have not
course,
introduced these.
Yes.
We've got, is it Goan? Coconut?
Yeah, good enough works for me.
Madre curry. And this is, how do you pronounce that?
Jafretzi.
Jafretzi curry. Are these all, they look like they're all from Trader Joe's? Maybe
No,
not.
these came from the local health store, Sprouts. And I just brought them all so that people could see that these are there.
But
and
it's
they make-
nice because if you don't have time to soak the cashews, I mean, which is wonderful, and we do so much, but you just pop open one of these delicious sauces.
Yeah, and then figure out which one is your favorite, you know? It looks like we need a clean spoon just to stir
Look,
that
right
up.
here.
Okay.
Right here.
And so I just brought them all so you can see, like, if one doesn't, if you're not crazy about one, try another one. So I'm going to pick the one in the center here. It looks sweet. but you have choices.
And run through the ingredients in this last one more time.
Okay,
We've got,
so-
mashed potatoes, and then you used a little bit of these.
That was just in case you don't have mashed potatoes
Oh,
on
okay.
hand. Yeah,
Got
so
it.
you can just use regular potatoes. Always beans, greens, potatoes, not tomatoes, but we love that song. And then carrots and peas, which I think are, kind of have that Indian, or you see them typically in Indian foods.
And you're getting all of your food groups. You're getting protein, all those minerals and nutrients.
Yeah.
And this sauce, can't forget, best part.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you
Spice
could
it up
mix
a
that
little
with a little cashew cream. It's got coconut as a base. So let's try it this way. Let's see if I can pull this off where we tuck in both sides.
I just heard you go.
I
She's gonna
forget
go
something?
for it. No.
All right, and there you have it. Okay, and then another one of these cool little. You can put all kinds of other little goodies.
Put that in the bottom,
top.
stack
You
it
can,
with
you
more
know,
goodies.
Add some more for the kids.
So
Add a
Barbara,
little
if
corn.
people want to follow you, where do we send them?
leanandgreenkids.org. Please like us on Facebook. Lean and Green
such
Kids.
a great program.
And on
so important.
Thank you. On Instagram, it's lean and then the letter N, and then green. Lean, green kids. On is that? I think I think Instagram is lean and green kids. You can tell I'm not a social media guru.
Yeah,
but Twitter might be.
She's wonderful.
Okay.
Really quickly, this beautiful banner in the background.
So we've got this in over 50 schools. We want to change the message that kids are absorbing. And for many, many years, they've had the got milk message. But so we need to get this message that good for you and the planet to beans, the lean and green protein. This is hanging in university dining halls. If you're a college student, contact me. We'll get this in your dining hall.
It's hanging at Cal State Monterey Bay, which is the college I just graduated from.
And
it's 2 of these.
And it's hanging at Humboldt State, and then it's hanging in several classrooms, multiple classrooms in Escondido here in North San Diego County, in the Bay Area. We just went to a wonderful greening school food event where school nutrition professionals really are trying to make a concerted effort to bring this message, and they took half a dozen of these back to their districts. So we would love to work with the viewers to get these into a school near you.
And look at these three. You can't see the ingredients. You saw us make them. It's time for us to go, unfortunately. Barbara, you're such a wealth of knowledge. I wish we had more time. But thank you so much for coming
it was a pleasure.
on.
It was an honor to be
I
here.
saw my teenage daughter come in close, my 18-year-old, because she wanted to see all these ingredients. She's getting more independent making her meals, and I'm so proud of her. She has given up red meat. She has given up pork. She is doing a great job. She's given up almost all dairy and just integrating all these healthy foods. One last thing before we go. Can you please sing us your
Sing us out?
Please sing us out. Take us out with that voice. I do not have a good voice, so I'm going to step out of the spotlight, Barbara. This is.
Are you sure?
I am
Are you
sure.
you're okay with stepping
I
out?
am
Okay.
like, goodbye, Queen Bee.
So when I go into the classroom with the kids, I do a presentation with a slideshow, and at the end of the presentation, I sing this song, and then I invite the kids to join me, and this is the final verse. Beans, glorious beans, the lean and green protein. You guys have to help
Come
me.
on.
Helps bodies grow strong, helps fishes swimming in blue streams.
I wish I would've learned
Why
this.
should we eat bean protein? It could save the world. Oh, beans, glorious beans, magical beans, lean and green beans.
Thanks for joining us on Saturday Snackdown.
Thank
Everyone
you.
have a great weekend.
Thank
we will
you.
see you next weekend. Try these wraps for not only your children, but yourself. Go vegan.
School lunch.
Yeah.